All right, Miles. Once again, we find ourselves talking about the Colorado Buffs and Coach Prime, Deion Sanders. He has ended again with a really smart decision about managing his team at the beginning of spring ball. They brought in a lot of big time recruits, a lot of big names now on campus, a lot of energy behind the Buffs program right now. But Deion Sanders has made a really great decision on how to manage and lead this team forward, starting at least with spring ball. I think it will carry forward for them going to 23 and potentially beyond. Really smart move by Deion here.
Yeah, Nick. And when you talk about Deion Sanders, all the changes he's made, there's so many. I think the Colorado football program will be impacted for the foreseeable future from all the changes that Sanders has made. Coach Prime's really done some incredible stuff. That's why I want to know in the comments below, Buffs fans, what is your favorite move that Coach Prime has made so far? Favorite change to the program? Let us know in the comments below. But Nick, what is the latest change that Coach Prime has made?
Yeah, so Deion Sanders, right? If you look back in his career, especially in NFL, when he was in sports media for a period of time, he was a very flashy guy. He obviously had the high steps, was obviously whenever he scored, which was a lot in the NFL, obviously with the nickname Prime Time, right? He was one of these flashy guys, brought a lot of attention on himself, did the same thing in media as well. He's carried some of that energy with him as he's become a coach, and he's attracted a lot of big name recruits and transfers, obviously first at Jackson State, now at Colorado. But he's taking the helm of Colorado going into spring ball here and is a great strategy to kind of manage the players' egos a little bit. Because one of the problems when you bring in all these big name, big talented guys, there's a lot of ego management that has to go on. And Sanders is doing an absolutely outstanding job managing that. This is according to a report from Outkick.com. Deion Sanders continues to set the tone at Colorado. The legendary NFL defensive back continues to build and cultivate a culture in Boulder the program hasn't seen before. Now with spring practice here, Colorado players will be wearing blank jerseys until they earn the right to wear a number. Sanders passionately told his players, quote, "Everything you do around here will be earned. We ain't giving you nothing, so you got to go get it and you got to take it." He also made it crystal clear no player under him will ever wear a zero because, quote, "that means you're nothing," unquote. I absolutely love this by Deion Sanders, Myers, because it's one of those things when you're really good at attracting recruits and attracting top talent. How do you manage those personalities? And we've seen guys like Nick Saban do a great job just from the sheer force of their personality, right? The dictator, right? His disciplinarian approach. Sanders is taking a completely different approach because he doesn't need the Saban authoritarian measure, just his status as an NFL Hall of Fame defensive back and just a big personality. He already has the clout in the locker room. He just wants to set people's tone, say, listen, I'm the big guy. You got to earn the right to wear that number to me. I don't care if you're a five-star recruit. I don't care if you're a big time transfer coming to Colorado. I don't care wherever it is, right? I don't care if you're a guy who was a walk-on 3 years ago. We're all starting from the same level here. You got to earn the right to wear that number. You got to earn the right to be a part of this football program. I think that's really smart by Deion Sanders because I bet there's a lot of recruits and a lot of transfers that maybe with all the hype in this program thought they'd come in and just kind of, show time at big dog it a little bit, not have to go through all the motions, maybe kind of coast a little bit during spring ball. Sanders is having none of that. I think it's a great show of leadership by him, Miles. Give me your thoughts on Coach Prime here and just everything with the Colorado Buffs program.
Yeah, no, we know there's a ton of talent on this team. We know there's been a lot of big recruits. There's been a lot of big transfer portal signings. But I love the approach. I love when anyone does this, whether it's in business, whether it's in football, whatever the case would be. He gives the feeling that whether you were on this Colorado team before I was here or I brought you here, everybody is at the same level. Everyone's starting from the bottom. You're going to earn the play time. You're going to earn the numbers. You're going to earn the name on the back of the jersey, et cetera, et cetera. He's going through, and I really like what he says here, Nick. He said, back in the day when you came up, single digits was the guy. It was him. It was who he was. And then he goes on to say, this is my favorite part. How can you ask for number one if you ain't the one? So yeah. He's like, he's giving a meaning back to wearing the numbers, and he's going to make all these guys bust their butts through practice. Everybody's got to work hard. They're going to earn it. And it's going to give you a little bit sense of pride if he goes, okay, you can wear number 5. You can wear number 1. I think it's going to give these guys a little extra boost. Something as small as giving them a number on their jersey is going to mean a lot to them. So when you're able to go out on the field and wear that number 5, number 1, number 3, whatever the case is, you get to be the guy. That's Deion saying, giving you his blessing. Hey, you're really good. You did really good this offseason through training, whatever the case may be. You've earned this number, so now go give it its due respect. I really like that kind of move. It's like a little extra hidden motivation.
Yeah, Miles, I think I agree with you 100%. There's kind of two sides of this. One, because of obviously all the big name recruits and transfers they brought in, you had the next rung of players that probably felt like, oh, great, there's the 10 or 12 superstars, and then there's the rest of us. We're just waiting for Coach Prime to cut us or something like that. By getting everybody to start at the same level, it kind of gets that team chemistry back together. Because one of the issues when you're in a situation like this and you're bringing in a lot of transfers and a lot of big names, like obviously Coach Prime is, sometimes you can have a divided locker room between the haves and have-nots, so to speak. Sanders is completely eliminating that problem from the get-go. Very smart, getting everybody to start from ground zero. And Miles, I think you hit on something extremely important. Some of these guys, some of these big names, maybe thought they just would show up and be obligated to, be a big-time player, wear that number 2, wear that number 1, whatever it may be. But that, it's one of those things in life. I think it's a true lesson. I think you'd agree with this. Everything feels better when you've actually earned the right, when you've earned the accomplishment, right? Because it's one of those things. If it's just handed to you, just like, okay, I mean, I'll take it. I like it. But, that satisfaction of earning something on your own through hard work and performance and improving and things like that means a lot more to people than just being handed something. And so not only is Sanders, leveling the playing field and avoiding a divisive locker room, he's also, like you said, motivating the star players to actually earn the right to achieve that, that number 1, that number 2, that single digit number, whatever number it may be. And I think both sides of that coin are really smart by Deion Sanders.